Welcome to Describe World, the channel where we explore the origins and ancestry of various ethnic groups. In this episode, we will focus on the intriguing connections between biblical characters and the Japanese, Chinese, and indigenous peoples. Many individuals of Japanese and indigenous descent often ponder their roots and wonder if the Bible sheds light on their origins. Surprisingly, both the Bible and ancient Jewish traditions offer some answers to these questions. Contrary to the belief that China is never mentioned in biblical texts, there are indeed biblical characters associated with Chinese ancestry. One such figure is Sin Rashin, considered the progenitor of the Chinese according to the Bible. In this video, we will delve into the origin of Sin and explore his significance in the context of the Bible and ancient Jewish tradition. The Bible mentions a character named Tarma, who is part of the lineage of Japheth. According to the book of Ezekiel, Tarma is considered one of the ancestors of the Far Eastern peoples. The book describes the house of Tarma and its troops, highlighting their connection to the Far East. Furthermore, another Asian origin that can be traced back to a different biblical character is associated with the Chinese. This character's lineage is connected to Canaan, and interestingly, neither he nor his people are portrayed as enemies of the Israelites, unlike other Canaanites. This character is known as Sin, also called Shine, and his name bears a striking resemblance to various terms, including the name China itself. In Hebrew, his name is pronounced as Shimi and may have meanings related to peak, clay, or mud. Some interpretations also associate his name with the moon. Sin, the son of Canaan, belongs to the lineage of Ham, who is one of Noah's grandsons. As one of the 11 sons of Canaan, Sin is indirectly mentioned in the Bible through his descendants, known as Seons or Sinites. It is worth noting that the different ways in which these people are named, such as Sinites in the English version and Seons in the Portuguese version, can be a source of confusion. It is believed that the Sinites, who were Sin's people, had their origins in Zim, a coastal city north of Phoenicia. Interestingly, the Sinites were not among the Canaanite tribes that Joshua was ordered to destroy, which suggests that they may have been influenced by the prefix Sin related to Proto-Chinese settlements in the east, or lands called Sinar or Mason, also known as the Land of Sin. According to ancient Jewish beliefs and traditions described in the Book of Jubilees, it is believed that the curse of Canaan did not apply to one of his sons, and this son may have been the ancestor of the ancient Chinese. The fact that the Sinites or Sans did not inhabit the land of Canaan, which did not belong to them, supports this perspective. The identification of Sin and the Sinites as the Chinese or ancestors of the Chinese is intriguing, especially considering the mention of the Sinites in Isaiah 9:12. The verse states, "Behold, these shall come from afar, and behold, these from the north and from the west, and these from the land of Sinim." Some scholars interpret the land of Sinim as a reference to China, while others associate it with nomadic peoples or even a city called Sin located in Egypt. Linguistically, various words and prefixes related to Sin or variations of the name are often associated with ancient China. For example, Xi'an is the capital of Shanxi province. Jin is an autonomous region in China, and terms like Shanghai, Shanxi, Shandong, Shenyang, and Shenin all allude to Chinese origins. These linguistic connections, along with ancient references, suggest a possible link between the ancient Chinese and the Sinites mentioned in the biblical text. Additionally, Sin is considered one of the ancestors of Asian peoples, including not only the Chinese but also the Japanese, Koreans, Filipinos, Indonesians, and other ancient groups. Over time, the descendants of Sin and Tarma may have intermingled, resulting in diverse lineages. This could explain the presence of different indigenous peoples in the Americas who trace their origins back to Asia, as well as the various Asian ethnic groups that share a common ancestry. In this episode, we will delve into the fascinating relationship between biblical characters and the origins of the Chinese, indigenous peoples, and other Asian ethnic groups. The exploration of these connections not only sheds light on the ancestral roots of these diverse populations, but also provides insights into the phenotypic variations in skin tones found among Native Americans compared to some Asian peoples. Scientific research has already confirmed the Asian origin of some Native American peoples, resulting from ancient contacts and interactions between these cultures. These cultural exchanges gave rise to new languages and dialects, such as the Far Asian languages and Proto-Caribbean languages. Linguists have even pointed out similarities in intonation and speaking patterns between the Japanese language and some Native American languages. Some propose that there are possible sound similarities, especially between the Japanese language and certain Native American languages in North America. The relationship between the Chinese and their possible descent from Sin and Tarma is widely discussed and often based on historical and mythological evidence. Their land, often called Sinin, has been associated with these ancestors, with Sin and Tarma considered the progenitors of the ancient Mongolic Chinese family. Ancient records, such as Egyptian monuments, depict these peoples with distinctive features, including prominent noses, full lips, large cheeks, and hairless or beardless faces. The range of skin tones, varying from brown to lighter shades and even reddish-brown, shows notable similarities to some indigenous people. Hair is often described as black and straight, while eyes are mentioned as dark brown or deep brown. Some representations also suggest slightly slanted eyes. The name Tarma itself, which means pulled or broken, could indeed be a reference to the appearance of their eyes. Historical and etymological connections between the Chinese and the Kadi, an ancient ethnic group, are also notable. The Kadi belonged to the ancient Chinese primordial family, and various aspects, such as clothing, style of shoes, and hair braiding, show connections between them. Craniologists have noted common similarities between the Kadi and other Mongolic ethnic groups. Sin plays a significant role in the Far East, being associated with the possible origin of Chinese civilization. The Chinese tradition refers to Fuxi or Fohai, a figure similar to the biblical Noah, who appeared in the mountains of China and was surrounded by a rainbow, evoking parallels with the biblical flood account. Fuxi also offered animal sacrifices to God, further aligning with the biblical narrative. This tradition about the origins of the Chinese is very similar to the record in the book of Genesis. Sin, being part of the third generation after Noah, provides a temporal context for the initial emergence of Chinese culture. The connection with Sin is also evident in the nomenclature, as people who came from the Far East for trading purposes were called Sin. Greek astronomer Timai referred to China as the land of Sinar. The book of Isaiah 49:12 mentions Siam, indicating that they came from afar, not from the north or west. The Arabs used terms such as Sin, Chin, Mahakan, and Makin to refer to China. Sin was associated with people who inhabited remote regions of Asia. The intriguing origin story of the Chinese people reveals remarkable information about Chinese ancestry, often related to the ancient Sans and Sinites, whose roots trace back to Canaan and Tarma. Exploring the links between the Chinese and the Canaanites, as well as their relationship with Europeans, could provide further insights into biblical genealogies. It is worth considering other ethnic groups whose biblical origins could also be addressed in future discussions. Thank you for following us this far, and don't forget to like and share with friends and family who share an interest in biblical genealogies. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.